Holy crap, what's the algorithm done now? This is Tell Someone. First question, of course, from Mildly Terrible. Do you think you and 99 of your other viewers can beat up a gorilla? For the last time, no. You can get your petty vendettas done by somebody else. I'm not doing any gorilla things. I'm not. Harambe was innocent. Next question, of course, is from Endocrom. Are Jello salads okay for your diet? How about ambrosia salads? Jello salads, those I haven't actually looked at any Jello salads in the last 50 years, and I'm not quite sure what they. Is that prawns and carrot in that gelatin dish? Okay. Yes, they would. They would help me lose weight, in that I would forswear eating ever again. It wouldn't be all that healthy though. Next question, of course, from Jonathan Stern. Why do tumours and tubers sound so similar, and which tastes better, baked with sour cream and scallions? Of course, it's not a tumour. No, I'm not doing that. It's not 1993 again yet. So I can't do that. I mean, look, all I'm saying is you might be able to send it back to 1953 and get them back, put into a gelatin mould and serve them up as a delicious dinner for people who are, who want to impress their guests with tuber salad, tuber jello salad, or tumor jello salad. Probably, probably a little bit more appetizing though. I mean, depending on what kind of tumour it is. Next question, of course, from Canadian Atheist. If you were giving me a specific look, what would it look like, and how would it differ from the one you would give to subs? You want me to give you a specific look? Alright, hang on. And I'll give Stubbs a look too. There we go, there it is. I'm looking directly into your soul. Next question, of course, could be from Saturn GR, whoever that is. I have no idea. There's a lot of new people today. A question for you. Has there ever been a time when you have, you or anyone you know has glitched and then failed? Not that I know of. Next question, of course, from the Chrysalis of Youth. If everything is a salad, then what flavour salad am I? Well, I'm not going to judge on you. All I know about you is your screen name, and that sort of sounds like you're gonna have a one of those not one of those salads, not one of those salads which are made of gelatin. I mean, you're going to be a proper salad, like one of those salads, the one that named after that assassinated person, Lord Spencer Percival. You'll be a Lord Spencer Percival salad, which is tuna and pineapple in jelly and coriander. Next question, of course, from was there Worcestershire in it? Another question from the Chrysalis of Youth. Follow-up question, can you listen to my music and rate it out of 10? Hang on. Yes, I could rate it out of 10. But if I was gonna judge it myself, then a rating out of 10 might not be adequate for that particular style of music. I mean, it's, you know, you gotta have a wider range of numbers for that, because it's. Did I get out of that one? Next question, Saturn GR. A question for you: has there ever been a time when you have, or anyone who you know has glitched and then failed? No, but sometimes I get deja vu. Next question, of course, from Mildly Terrible. Are you going to be the next Pope? Well, I'm not going to be next Pope. You know, they've already got their little conclave, and they're fine. They're choosing their own popes. I don't have to be all the popes all the time. We've been through this last time we had a new pope, and the previous time, but not the one before that, because the one before that was like when I was 6 or 8, I think, and I wasn't even in the running. So no. Now, I mean, there have been 8-year-old popes. But, you know, but they had, you know, Uncle Borgia to give a lot of cardinals a lot of money to make him the Pope in particular. And he didn't last too long. That's all I'm saying. Javi Wasawas asked the last question today: should David Tennant be the new Pope, and what would they do the regeneration of thing? Okay. Here's the thing: you got to be up to date with all the the way that they replace a pope when they have run out of pope because of fatal things. So what happens is somebody finds the Pope dead or something, or he dies like unexpectedly through, you know, malaria or gunshot or drinking too much salad or whatever, and then they like close all the doors and seal the Pope's quarters shut to make sure that nobody like touches his stuff, because you don't want to touch the dead Pope's stuff. And then they get the papal hammer and they hit him with the papal hammer, like in order to make sure he's dead for reasons. They stop you from touching his stuff, and then they hit him with the hammer. They hit him with the Pope hammer. Now, after they hit him with the Pope hammer, what they do is they call up all of the cardinals, like all of the, not the little bird, not the little red birds, but the actual cardinals with the hats and the shoes. They get those shoes specially made, so you know those are pretty expensive shoes. I mean, you know, they're red and everything. So they do that. They get all of the cardinals together, and they gather around in a big old room. And they bolt the doors shut, and they order pizzas or something. And then they bring in David Tennant, and the body of the old Pope becomes David Tennant for a bit. You know, but it's only for a bit. And every time it changes into David Tennant, then the regeneration, like energy and stuff, you know, the glowy gold stuff, and that becomes black and goes up the chimney. And that's when they burn a cardinal. That's when they burn a cardinal trying to regenerate from David Tennant into the new Pope. All right, and then Catherine Tate comes in, and when Catherine Tate comes in, then another Pope, another cardinal fuses with David Tennant and outspits David Tennant, old David Tennant, and the new Pope. And that's when all the white smoke goes up the chimney, because It doesn't have all the, because all of the David Tennant stuff remains in David Tennant, and the new Pope gets all the new Pope energy from the old Pope going all the way back to like St. Paul or something. It all stays with the Pope going back to St. Paul. It's some sort of apostolic thing. That it's the line of an apostolic. Yeah, I used to be Catholic, okay? So I remember most of it. And there's bits of it that are sort of missing, and I put David Tennant in there. But it's mostly what they do when they do the bit of the hammer, and then the new Pope goes and sits on a special chair that's made of like this red stone that's called porphyry or something, and it's got a hole in it. And there's one of two reasons why it's got a hole in it. It's either to check whether everything's intact downstairs, or it used to be the Emperor's special throne, like the Roman Emperor's special throne, which he used for specific purposes that required a seat with a hole in it. And I don't know which it is. It could be both. It could be both. It could be both. And that's it for Tell Someone for this week. If you would like to ask me a question for some reason, then ask me a question in the question asking place below. Or you can answer this dovetail question if you really, really, really need to. Over there. What an interesting quandary I have selected in the future, and I don't know what it is because I haven't actually selected it yet, because I'm tired and I need let's drink here. Anyway, I'm Dangerously Talented and I don't have a cool sign off.